God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. My name is Rebecca. I'm a Texan, but I live in Utah. And I've been listening to your podcast since the very beginning, and it is so helpful. I really appreciate it, and I know that there's lots of others out there that have gained so much and have been successful. I'm still working on my first private label product, and my question is regarding tools of the trade. I just was wondering if you could give us your, 3 or 4, or however many must-haves that you use, like tax jar, inventory lab. I've been hearing these different things, and I just was wondering if you could give us your opinion on those types of things. Okay, thanks so much.
Hey, Rebecca, thank you so much for the question. And I love it that we have another woman asking a question. You know, we get a lot of guys asking questions, but I get very few women. So thank you so much for the question. And thank you so much for the kind words again. And I want to just say this again publicly that, you guys leave in iTunes reviews and, comments on the blog and voicemails like this that are telling me this stuff. I mean, it makes me feel really good and is the reason why I continue to do this. So thank you so much. And I guess what I'm saying is, keep letting me know that it's helping you and that, it's making a difference, because that's why I wanted to start this podcast all the way back on episode 1. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is a great question. And actually, I've recently did an entire podcast and blog post on this particular topic. I actually went through all of the tools that I've either used or that other people have recommended to me. So I went ahead and I put together a resources page on the blog at theamazingseller.com/resources. And I'll just give you a few of them off the top of my head, but it really depends. It really does depend on where you are in this business. But for starters, it starts with product research, and before, when I was starting, I really didn't use many tools for the product research. I really just did it the old fashioned way where I would search for a product or an idea after I brainstormed. And then I would go ahead and I would start looking up keywords. And then I would start drilling into these certain subcategories. And then I would start looking at their BSRs. And then I would look at the reviews. And then I would look at the price and all this stuff. And then I would compile it in a data sheet and all that stuff. The new tool, which you guys are familiar with that I'm using now all the time, is Jungle Scout. And that particular one is a must-have, I believe. And it's something that is just saved me so much time, and it's also turned me on to products that I didn't even think about because I'm able to drill down a lot quicker. So that's Jungle Scout. That's definitely one that I would recommend. The other one is Camel. It's a free tool. Now, Jungle Scout is a paid tool. I do have a 10% special link for TAS listeners. That was from Greg Mercer. You can find that on the resource page as well. But then there's, like I said, Camel. That's a nice free tool. It actually gives you some history of the BSRs. It also gives you history of the pricing. So that's another good one. Google Trends. That's another great tool for seeing, if a market is, either if it has different, peaks and valleys as far as when it's a good time to sell that product, or if it's a declining market. So Google Trends. AmaSuite 4, that's another paid product. Chris Guthrie created that product. I'm using that one. The main tool I'm using on that one there is I'm using it again for product research. It's basically giving me ideas, and it's also helping me with finding review or top reviewers inside of Amazon, which I'm working on that like right now, like actively, like this week, I'm like digging down inside using that particular module inside of AmaSuite 4. Again, that one there is more product research and also for reviews. But then as far as like keyword research, I use, some free tools. I use Google Keyword Planner. I use Merchant Words. That one, they have a free version on that as well. AMZ Shark, I use that for tracking, and then AmaSuite 4 again for keyword research. They have a module in there for keyword research. Product sourcing, and again, I have all these listed out, so I'm not going to go through them all, but these are the main ones in the beginning, especially. Product sourcing, obviously AliExpress, Alibaba, and then Thomas Net. That's another one. So those are like the ones like in the beginning that a lot of people are asking about. Those are the ones, but again, I've got product pictures and artwork. I've got all of the ones I recommend for there. Email follow-up and collection, things like Feedback Genius, Aweber, Lead Pages. Those are the ones that I currently use. So those are there as well. And then product reviews, that's another big one. Thomason, Viral Launch, Facebook review groups. I have one that in particular that I recommend as of right now, Snagshout. So again, these are all listed. I have accounting links there for you that I use, and then business and legal stuff. LegalZoom is one that I recommend on that as well. And I have some recommended books and stuff too. But again, it comes down to don't overwhelm yourself. Like, what are you needing? What are you needing tools for? Don't buy tools just because everyone else is buying tools. I look at it like, what's going to help me expose and kind of see products that I could potentially private label. And then I look at what's going to save me time, and then what is going to also help me, move and push the business to the next level. What is going to help me automate things like Feedback Genius for like your follow-up, your sequences and stuff like that. That works really good. But again, keyword tracking, you don't necessarily need it, but it's helpful when you're trying to rank for certain keywords and you're seeing like how you're doing for the work that you're putting in. So I know this was kind of like a long-winded answer, but you can go through and see all of those particular products. And again, like I said, it really depends on the person, because I'm not a big fan of getting all the tools just because everyone has them. I believe you should get the tools that you need right now. And then from there, use them. And then you're going to always have them in your tool bag, in a sense. And I always go back to the construction days. If I was doing jobs and I was working on someone's house and I was, putting kitchen cabinets up, well, I needed certain tools to help me with those kitchen cabinets, right? I needed, certain things. I needed a level, right? I needed a level to make sure that they were level. I needed, I needed a hammer so I could go ahead and use it to nail in the trim. All of that stuff, right? Tools. We need them in this business. We just don't need all of the tools because it might not be the right time, or we might not need it for that particular job. But anyway, that's my answer for that. So I don't have like 3 tools that are a definite must, other than, like I said, the product research tools. They are a must because that's what you need to really expose these different ones. And it's going to save you a ton of time. So I hope that's been helpful. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys